the multi-purpose projects fail to achieve their objectives, those objectives and aims which were targeted at the beginning of the construction of these multi-purpose river valley projects, because since last 3 decades, in many states, many parts of the country, they affected by the floods. These areas affected by the floods in 1987 Punjab, in 1987 Punjab, and afterwards as the Bihar, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and since last 2 to 3 years, Tamil Nadu also affected by the floods during the months of November, December. So these situations, they clear that the multi-purpose river valley projects fail to achieve their objectives. Excessive sedimentation which has occurred in a dams, behind the dams, behind the walls of a dams, they are led to affecting the aquatic life. And there are the earthquakes, they are also intrude with the explosions which are occurred generally on a mountainous areas. Clear? In a higher altitudinal areas where the dams are basically built by the explosion, making as a valleys or for the reservoirs. For such purposes, the earthquakes are also led in such areas by the disturbance of a rock structures. Consolidated rocks, they becomes as a unconsolidated, and they led to the floods. Clear? So yesterday we discussing about the water disputes. Water disputes. Water disputes are there. So dams, specifically as a Sardar Sarovar Dam on a Narmada River and a Tehri Dam in Uttarakhand, they caused as a controversies and gave rise to the social movements like as a Narmada Bachao Andolan and Tehri Dam Andolan. The people which are struggling under the Sardar Sarovar Dam, against of Sardar Sarovar Dam, they are basically the farmers, those farmers which are not access towards the water. They are facing as a severe scarcity of water for the irrigation. That much of water of Narmada, it has diverting towards the cotton textile industries of Gujarat and Maharashtra. In the other side, Tehri Dam Andolan, it has led because the large number of tribals and the people which were displaced by the government for the construction of a reservoir and a Tehri Dam in Uttarakhand. These people still not properly rehabilitate. Not proper compensation has given to the such people. Clear? So local people lose their agricultural land, settlements, livelihoods, and access to their natural resources. They are the first sufferers. Compensations given by the government is inadequate, and people have to make concerted efforts to rebuild their life. Local communities should be the main beneficiaries, but actually rich farmers, industrial states, and a few urban areas are profited once the projects are complete. Irrigation facilities get enhanced and farmers grow the water-intensive crops, which helps for the commercial farming and to gain the maximum profits from the agriculture. This has great ecological consequences such as the salination in the soil. Salination, why? Because as a water in a reservoirs where the water has accumulated due to which the salinity increases in our soils. When such water has used for the agriculture purposes, it makes a land as the barren. B-A-R-R-E-N. Clear? It makes a land as a barren, and the poor farmers, they still do not got the water. The results which are comes in ahead as in the form of economic disparities. Social and economic disparities exist in society. Social and economic disparities exist in society. Clear? Social and economic disparities exist in society. So due to such conflicts, there is the Sabarmati Basin. Sabarmati basin farmers in Gujarat, they are agitated for the water supply to the urban areas on a priority basis during the drought seasons also. So dams can also cause as interstate disputes. These disputes are arise with the regard to sharing the cost of construction, amount of water, and the benefits of projects or ill effects of dams. Dams are supposed to control the floods, but during the rainy seasons, when the dams are overflowing, they are the reason responsible for the floods in India. In many number of states, which still as affecting by the floods. It is as common in Gujarat and Maharashtra during the monsoon season. Sedimentation of reservoirs not only cause the dams to overflow, but they are also affecting the plains, those plains which earlier formed by the deposition of sediments by the river. Deposition of sediments and silt by the rivers, such land, such plains, now they are affected as at present. Why? Because sedimentation has occurred behind the walls of dams, and such sediments, that kind of a fertile soil not able to reach over such margins of plains, those plains which earlier formed by the deposition of sediments. Deposition of sediments. Clear? So these are the multi-purpose river belly projects. Clear? Multi-purpose river belly projects. Next is the rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting. Next one is the rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a technique of collecting water from rooftop to recharge underground water. Rainwater harvesting, it is a technique of collecting rainwater from rooftop to recharge underground water by constructing structures like dug wells, percolation pits, check dams, trenches around the fields, collecting water in ponds and depressions. I'm repeating again, rainwater harvesting is a technique of collecting rainwater from rooftops to recharge underground water by constructing structures like dug wells, percolation pits, check dams, trenches around the fields, ponds, lakes, etc. It is as a most eco-friendly method which causes no social unrest. It is economically favorable. It is a method of utilizing the rainwater for domestic and agricultural purposes. Such water which is collected in a rooftop or underground chambers built, these structures are basically used to complete the needs of water during the off season. Off season, when the scarcity of water exists. When scarcity of water exists, under such circumstances, that kind of water it can utilize. It can utilize during the off seasons. Clear? during the off seasons that much of a water which collected during the rainy season in a rooftop areas or underground chambers, it has generally used for the completion of the needs of water. Clear? The growth of a rainwater harvesting techniques, it's not in a recent in concept, it used in a age-old patterns in a historical background. During the ancient age, during the medieval age, large number of rulers they emphasize over the conservation of a rainwater to complete or to complete the shortage of a water. To complete shortage of water, they generally use the rainwater to conserve to complete the shortage of water. Clear? Shortage of water. The methods has been in use in our historical past. These were as the Rajaon ki Bains. Rajaon ki Bains, B-A-I-N-S. Rajaon ki Bains, B-A-I-N-S. Rajaon ki Bains. Rajaon ki Bains, B-A-I-N-S. These are also known as a Sukhi Bauli, S-U-K-H-I, S-U-K-H-I, B-A-O-L-I, Bauli. Rajaon ki Bains or Sukhi Bauli, which was constructed during the time of Sikandar Lodi in 15th-16th century. In 15th and 16th centuries, Rajaon ki Bains constructed during the reign of Sikandar Lodi in 15th and 16th centuries. 15th and 16th centuries. Clear? Second one, Hauj Khas, H-A-U-Z. Second one, H-A-U-Z, Hauj Khas. It was constructed by the Iltutmish, which succeeded the Qutbuddin Aibak. Remember, Hauj Khas near Delhi, H-A-U-Z, Hauj Khas near Delhi, constructed by Iltutmish in the 12th and 13th centuries. 12th and 13th centuries. To supply water to the Siri Fort, S-I-R-I, Siri Fort. To supply water to Siri Fort. Third one, Gandhak ki Bauli. Gandhak ki Bauli, G-A-N-D-H-A-K. Gandhak ki Bauli in Mehrauli complex in Delhi. Mehrauli complex in Delhi, constructed by the Iltutmish. Constructed by Iltutmish. Constructed by Iltutmish. Clear? Fourth one, step well at Patan. Step well, S-T-E-P, step well at Patan, P-A-T-A-N, in Gujarat, built in 11th century. Built in 11th century. Step well, built in, step well at Patan, P-A-T-A-N, in Gujarat, built in 11th century. 11th century. In 11th century. Next one, fifth one, a plenty of the kunds and tankas, a large number of the ponds, kunds, K-U-N-D-S, kunds and tankas, T-A-N-K-A-S. Tankas word, it brought from the tanks, underground tanks built. So a large number of kunds KUNDS, and Tankas, TANKAS, TANKAS. Kunds, KUNDS, Kunds and Tankas, these were built in a forts and houses of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh to conserve rainwater. To conserve rainwater, a large number of kunds and tankas, TANKAS, tankas built in forts and houses of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Tankas underground chambers. Due to the high temperature in Rajasthan, people are not prefer in a last time to conserve rainwater at the rooftop areas, because if they will collect the rainwater in a rooftop, it will evaporate. It will evaporate. They basically collected the rainwater under the underground chambers. By constructing the underground chambers, such chambers, these are helpful to complete the water necessities during the off seasons when they require water, or such water which is available in an underground. It helps to maintain their room temperatures also. Room temperature of such houses where such underground chambers, these are generally built. Clear? These are generally built. So these examples, they prove that the people learn to collect rainwater for the meeting of their for the completion of their water requirements. Such water they use for their day-to-day or domestic needs, But presently in Rajasthan, the basic need, the large scale of a need for the agriculture and the industries, these are generally completed through the Indira Gandhi Canal, which has obtained from the Satluj River. Clear? Now, as a present perspective of rainwater harvesting techniques. The present perspective, the rainwater harvesting techniques which are used in water form in hilly areas and in Western Himalayas. People have constructed diversion channels known as gulls and kulls, GULS, gulls and kulls, in hilly areas of Western Himalayas. People, they generally constructed as the gulls, GULS, gulls, or kulls, KULS. These are the diversion channels. During the rainy season, when a large quantities of water it has flowing along the slopes of mountains, it's generally as diverted towards such agriculture fields which are practiced in a form of a contour plowing, or terrace farming. Clear? Contour plowing and terrace farming. Second method of a rainwater harvesting technique is a rooftop rainwater harvesting in eastern Rajasthan. Rooftop rainwater harvesting in eastern Rajasthan. Commonly practiced to store drinking water. Commonly practiced in eastern parts of Rajasthan to conserve rainwater for drinking purposes. Clear? Rooftop rainwater harvesting in eastern Rajasthan. Third methodology of a rainwater harvesting. This is in West Bengal, people constructed the low-price inundational canals. inundational canals. Inundational, INNUDATIONAL, inundational canals. Such canals, these are basically filled with water during the rainy season. And throughout the rest of the year, they use such water for the irrigation. Such water. So they basically have dug a canal along their agricultural fields to collect rainwater. Where that water is collected, it helps to the recharge underground water also to the process of percolation. In the other side, they also these inundational channels are helpful for the completion of a water necessity for the agriculture. Clear, Bhumika? For agriculture. Clear? Now the fourth method of rainwater harvesting is in a large open spaces or agriculture fields. These are converted into the rain-fed storage structures that allow the water to stand and moisten the soil, like as the khadins in Jaisalmer. They are known as the khadins in Jaisalmer and joharts in Rajasthan. Clear? Khadins in Jaisalmer, joharts in Rajasthan, where the large number of agriculture fields, these are transformed into as the rain-fed storage centers. Rainwater collected in a large areas, in a large extensive agricultural fields. These are known as the khadins in Jaisalmer and joharts in other parts of Rajasthan. Next one is in arid and semi-arid parts of Rajasthan. In arid and semi-arid parts of Rajasthan. Particularly in Bikaner, Phalodi and Barmer, almost all the houses traditionally had underground tanks or tankas for storing drinking water. That water which has basically collected in a basement areas, in underground chambers. It helps to maintain their room temperature also. It helps to decrease the room temperature as compared to the outside. These are generally known as the tankas or tanks. TANKAS, tankas or tanks. Clear? So these are the important rainwater harvesting techniques used in present. Presently, the Tamil Nadu government, it is emphasizing over the rooftop rainwater harvesting. Why? Because there is a water dispute arise in between of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu regarding as a Kaveri water. So basically, as a domestic needs of a society, domestic needs of families, it can be as a fulfilled through the rooftop rainwater harvesting techniques. Clear? Is that clear? Generally, water from the first rain is not collected because it washes the roofs and drain lines. The rainwater can be stored and used for the 3 to 5 years, particularly in summer season when water is in short supply. If we see the traditional homes in Rajasthan and Gujarat, such underground tanks are adjoining the rooms to keep them cool in summer. And since rainwater is pure, it is given to the sick people also. However, the practice of a rainwater harvesting, which is a need of a present society or a time, is on decline in Rajasthan. It is due to the availability of water from Indira Gandhi Canal. Due to the change in a pattern of rainfall, failure of administration in supplying drinking water, decline in underground water table, people are making efforts to rainwater harvesting. People, they are making their efforts for the rainwater harvesting. So there are a certain number of advantages which are associated with the rainwater. Rainwater, it increases the amount of underground water table and raises its levels. Why? Because where the water accumulated, when the water collected in underground chambers, in ponds, in the form of the lakes, such water through process of a percolation, it recharge the underground water level, underground water table. Clear? Second one, it improves the quality of water and reduces the pollution. It improves the quality of water and it reduces pollution. It solves the problem of a water scarcity. When we collected the rainwater, it solves the problem of a water scarcity. Third one, it decreases the floods. It decreases the impact of floods in and areas, and the soil erosion and destruction of property also. Conservation of a rainwater led to the control over the floods, save farmlands, protection of a soil from the soil erosion, and destruction of property, which generally has caused due to the floods. Clear, Bhumika? Generally caused due to the floods. Now, as the fourth, rainwater harvesting techniques, they are the supplements for the domestic and the irrigation requirements. Supplements to the irrigation requirements, domestic and irrigation requirements. Domestic and irrigation requirements. In a parts of the Shillong in a Meghalaya, which is the capital of the Meghalaya, presents a very good example of a rooftop rainwater harvesting. It is as a very close to the Cherrapunji and a Mawsynram, which receives more than 1,000 centimeters annual rainfall. It faces the water scarcity nearly, but now presently as a due to the efforts of the household areas for conservation of rainwater in a rooftop rainwater harvesting structures, through which that much of a water which wasted unnecessarily, it can be as utilized to complete the needs of a society, especially as a domestic needs of society can be as easily complete with the help of a rooftop rainwater harvesting, which practiced in a northeastern states of India. Along the slopes of the mountains in the Himalayas, rainwater, it is collected in a form of the embankments. Rock structures are built which reduce the flow of water, surface runoff, surface water, that much of water which wasted during the rainy season. Now they are collected in embankments, and such embankments are used to divert that water for agriculture. Divert towards the agricultural fields. Clear? It divert towards the agricultural fields. So any of the questions in your mind? If anybody wish to